Have you been something your entire life? Shy, troublemaker, loser, stubborn, or charming, pretty, life of the party? Growing up, when we exhibit certain behaviors, we sometimes get these labels thrust upon us by adults around us, maybe caregivers, teachers, or even our peers from the classroom. And these labels may not be accurate. It may just be a spur of the moment thing, or people might be projecting their stuff on us. But we are these kids who do not have the emotional capacity to analyze these labels. And if we hear them enough times, we start accepting them. We may not like them, we may want to reject them, but we think that since it has been spoken so many times, so many people share this idea, maybe there is some truth about it. And so we start accepting this and identifying with these labels. We start falling into these roles. So, an example of this might be where someone has been called a loser enough times and they start believing internally that yes, they are a loser, and they might grow up, they might exhibit other behaviors outwardly, but they consciously never address this role that someone else assigned to them, and now they believe that it is true. So, in a workplace situation, it might manifest as if they screwed up on something, if something was not met on time, they missed a target, and they were called out in the team meeting and the boss was not happy. Later on, that individual may chastise themselves, indulge in self flagellation, and call themselves a loser. Yeah, you are a loser. This was supposed to happen. Why were you not more responsible? And this might be the self dialogue that they engage in. But again, it is something that they picked from their childhood, and they are now unconsciously operating from this. And when we start operating from these labels, we unconsciously create these scenarios that reinforce these beliefs, these roles in our life. So we need to examine if we are unconsciously trying to follow any of these patterns which are not serving us in a positive manner. This is especially easy to see in family dynamics where maybe around family gatherings, you see people reverting back into old habits where they fall into these patterns where you may probably behave like that 8-year-old seated at the family table who is shy or who is very talkative or who is like a troublemaker. So it's very easy because everyone is familiar with this script, and we can notice this in others as well who are constantly behaving as victims or blaming others, or who have this righteous anger towards others, or someone who's ready to pick a fight all the time. And these are familiar scripts. Everyone knows how to operate from them. So if you are seated next to someone and you are participating in a conversation, someone might say, "Hey, you used to be so shy when you were young. Look at you now." So they are also operating from that old script where you were that shy kid and you are now this different version which they are not able to reconcile. So people may want to push you back into those molds, into those roles, because they are familiar with that. This works even with the positive label. So if someone is quiet, someone else might question, "Why are you so quiet today? You used to be so full of life when you were young." And on surface, positive label might feel like a good thing, but then there is always that pressure to perform. Whether that person is undergoing something or not, they always have to put on this mask where they are so full of life and exuberant. The idea is to become conscious of these roles that we are playing and the rules that we are following that come with these roles. And if we don't like them, whether they are positive or negative, if they are putting us in a box, if they are putting pressure on us, then we can consciously change them. If we were operating from these unconsciously earlier, now we can look at them in a positive frame of light. We can bring them to awareness and then choose something that works for us instead of following these roles because they were once assigned to us by someone else. So now consciously choose what works for you instead of falling back into those roles and rules around other people. So next time you are at that table and someone tells you, "Oh, look at you, talking so much. You have an opinion on everything. You used to be so shy when you were young." So instead of getting offended, because now we understand that the other person is also operating from that familiar script, we can then tell them that, yeah, that was me then, this is me now. I have become a different person. I have grown up and I have other skills that I've acquired in my life. So obviously now I am an informed individual, so I can talk about things. I can share my opinion on different topics. So we can consciously choose what works for us and be authentic in our interactions with others. And also, it does not mean that if we are authentic, we are not kind and considerate. We still understand that other people might still be stuck in their own patterns, and it is not our job to call them out. We help others if they are ready, but if they are not, then we operate as these conscious, responsible individuals who are taking ownership of their own life and are not being forced into these roles and rules that were once a part of our life but don't agree with us anymore. And also, let's be conscious that we are not doing this to others. We are not attaching these labels to others based on a few interactions that we have with them. The goal is to become conscious of these roles and rules that were assigned to us at some point, and we became identified with them. But now we can shine the light of awareness on these, and if they don't work for us, we can discard them and choose something that serves us. Choose something that make us feel like these empowered beings and not limit us in any way. So examine if you are following any roles or rules that were assigned to you. And if they don't work for you, change them and choose something that does not limit you. Good luck. Thanks for watching.